Hello and welcome to Get Sleepy. I'm so glad you found your way here tonight. The ocean has always held humankind in silent wonder, its depths concealing more secrets than we could ever fully fathom. Tonight, we'll gently glide through the world beneath the waves, exploring the strange and beautiful truths about marine life, underwater landscapes, and the vast blue wilderness that covers most of our planet. Wherever you are right now, perhaps with the sound of rain on your window or in the stillness of a quiet room, allow yourself to join in this shared moment of stillness. Tonight, we will explore 100 remarkable truths about our oceans. From the sun-drenched surface, where waves dance with light, to the midnight zone, where no ray of sunlight has ever reached, to the creatures that have lived in darkness for millions of years, adapting in ways that seem almost magical. If these tranquil ocean stories help you breathe easier, then subscribing will help another sleepless soul discover this peaceful place. A gentle like and subscription helps more curious minds find their way here. One gentle click, one sleepy soul at a time. We'd be grateful, but there's absolutely no pressure. For now, you don't have to do anything at all. Simply let your shoulders relax. Let your breath fall into its own rhythm. Imagine yourself floating gently on calm water, held by something vast and patient. The ocean has been here for billions of years. It will still be here tomorrow. Tonight is simply about stillness. When you are ready, let us begin our silent journey through the mysteries of the deep. If you like, close your eyes now and take a deep breath. Imagine floating in the deep ocean, where pressure and stillness create wondrous life. You move without limits, without a destination. Only the gentle sway of the water currents. Let go of all boundaries. Let your mind drift through the silent depths. And when you're ready, well, begin. The ocean covers more than 70% of the Earth's surface, and yet we have explored less than 5% of it. Think about that for a moment. Despite all our technology, satellites, and deep-sea vehicles, 95% of the underwater world remains unexplored and unseen by human eyes. We know more about the surface of Mars than about the deepest parts of our own oceans. The Mariana Trench, the deepest point on Earth, plunges almost 11 kilometers below sea level, deep enough to completely swallow Mount Everest, with room above. Every year, scientists discover new underwater mountains, canyons, and ecosystems that have existed in darkness since the beginning of time. The ocean holds secrets we are only just beginning to grasp. Seawater contains about 35 grams of salt per liter. This salinity didn't happen overnight. Over billions of years, rainwater dissolved minerals from rocks and soil, carrying them to rivers and eventually to the sea. The sun evaporated pure water from the ocean's surface, leaving the salt behind. This process has been occurring since the first rains on ancient rock. The result is a vast, salty bath that makes up 97% of all the water on our planet. Every drop of seawater you taste contains traces of almost every element found in the Earth's crust. Sodium, magnesium, calcium, even gold in tiny, immeasurable quantities. The ocean is, in a sense, a liquid memory of our planet's geological history. The ocean has layers, like a liquid atmosphere. At the surface, the sunlight zone extends about 200 meters downwards. Here, enough light penetrates for photosynthesis, And most marine life thrives in this bright, warm band. Below this lies the twilight zone, where the light fades to a faint blue glow and reaches a depth of about 1,000 meters. Even deeper lies the midnight zone, where darkness is absolute and constant. No natural light reaches these depths. The water here is almost frozen, and the pressure is crushing, hundreds of times greater than at the surface. And yet, life exists in this seemingly hostile environment. Strange creatures with bioluminescent organs generate their own light and drift through the darkness like stars in an underwater sky. The layers of the ocean remind us that life finds a way, even in the most unexpected places. Waves are created by wind blowing across the ocean surface. The size of a wave depends on three things: the speed of the wind, how long it blows, and the distance it travels, called the strike length. A gentle breeze might create small ripples, while a powerful storm can generate waves over 30 meters high. But here's something remarkable. Waves can travel thousands of kilometers across the open ocean without losing much energy. Surfers in California sometimes ride waves that originated from storms near Antarctica, journeys that took weeks. The wave you see breaking on a beach today could have started as a disturbance halfway around the world, carrying energy over vast distances through water that barely moves. It is the energy that travels, not the water itself, a kind of invisible message that is passed through the sea. The ocean regulates Earth's climate by absorbing and distributing heat. Water has a high heat capacity, meaning it can absorb large amounts of thermal energy without becoming much warmer. This property makes the ocean a massive thermal reservoir, storing heat from the sun in summer and gradually releasing it in winter. Ocean currents act like conveyor belts, moving warm water from the equator to the poles and cold water in the opposite direction. The Gulf Stream, for example, carries warm water from the Caribbean northward along the east coast of North America, then across the Atlantic toward Europe. Without this current, cities like London would experience winters as harsh as those in northern Canada. The ocean not only reflects the climate, it creates it, moderates temperatures, and makes a large part of the planet habitable. We live on an aquatic world, and this water keeps us alive. Coral reefs are sometimes called the rainforests of the sea, and for good reason. Although they cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, reefs provide habitat for about 25% of all marine species. A single reef can harbor thousands of different organisms: fish, mollusks, crustaceans, sponges, and countless microscopic creatures. Corals themselves are animals, not plants, although they live in partnership with tiny algae called zooxanthellae that photosynthesize and provide them with nutrients. This symbiosis has existed for millions of years. Reefs grow slowly, sometimes only a few centimeters per year, building limestone structures that can last for thousands of years. They protect coastlines from erosion, support fisheries that feed millions of people, and contain compounds that scientists are studying for potential medicines. Coral reefs are fragile empires of life, delicate yet resilient. The ocean produces most of the oxygen we breathe, while rainforests are often referred to as the lungs of the earth. Marine phytoplankton, microscopic plant-like organisms that float near the surface, actually produce about 50 to 80% of the planet's oxygen through photosynthesis. These tiny organisms are so small that a single drop of seawater can contain millions of them. Yet together they form enormous blooms visible from space. Phytoplankton also forms the base of the marine food chain. Zooplankton feeds on phytoplankton. Small fish eat zooplankton. Larger fish eat the small fish, and so on, up to apex predators like sharks and whales. Everything in the ocean ultimately depends on these microscopic organisms that drift with the currents. Every second breath you take comes from the sea, a gift from beings you cannot see. The deepest parts of the ocean are home to creatures that seem alien. In the Hadal zone, depths below 6,000 meters, scientists have found slugfish living at pressures that would crush most submarines. These fish have soft, gelatinous bodies and bones made of cartilage rather than calcium adaptations that allow them to survive, where the weight of the water above presses downward with unimaginable force. Other deep-sea creatures have evolved bioluminescence, the ability to produce light through chemical reactions in their bodies. They use this light to attract prey, communicate with potential mates, or confuse predators. Some have enormous eyes to capture every photon of light in the darkness, while others have lost their eyesight entirely and navigate by sensing vibrations in the water. The deep sea is a place where evolution has taken strange and beautiful paths, creating life forms that cannot be found anywhere else on Earth. Whales are among the largest animals that have ever existed, and they spend their entire lives in the ocean. The blue whale can grow up to 30 meters long and weigh up to 200 tons, more than the largest dinosaurs. Despite their size, blue whales feed on some of the smallest creatures in the ocean, krill, tiny shrimp-like animals that live in enormous swarms. A single blue whale can eat several tons of krill per day, filtering them from the water with baleen plates in its mouth. Whales are also among the most intelligent animals, with complex social structures and communication systems. Humpback whales sing elaborate songs that can last for hours and travel hundreds of kilometers through the water. Each population has its own dialect, and the songs evolve over time. These giants show us that size and grace can coexist, and that intelligence takes many forms. The seabed is not flat. Beneath the waves lies a landscape as diverse as any on land, towering underwater mountains called seamounts, deep trenches, wide plains, and volcanic ridges. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge, for example, is a massive underwater mountain range that runs through the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, formed by tectonic plates being pulled apart and magma rising to fill the gap. This ridge is actually part of the longest mountain range on Earth, stretching 65,000 kilometers across the world's ocean floor. Hydrothermal vents along this ridge spew superheated water rich in minerals, creating oases of life in the deep sea. Entire ecosystems thrive around these vents without any sunlight, powered instead by chemical energy from the Earth's interior. The ocean floor is a hidden world of dramatic geography, constantly being reshaped by the planet's internal forces. Jellyfish have existed for more than 500 million years, making them one of the oldest groups of animals on Earth. They were here before the dinosaurs, before fish with backbones, even before most life crawled onto land. Jellyfish have no brain, no heart, no blood, and no bones, just a simple body made mostly of water, organized in a bell-shaped structure with trailing tentacles. And yet they are remarkably successful. They can perceive light, detect chemicals, and react to touch. Some jellyfish are bioluminescent, glowing with an eerie blue or green light in dark water. Others, like the box jellyfish, possess a venom potent enough to be dangerous to humans. The immortal jellyfish, Turritopsis dohrnii, can even reverse its life cycle, transforming from an adult back into a juvenile polyp, potentially living forever. Jellyfish teach us that complexity isn't always necessary for survival. Sometimes, simplicity survives. Seagrass meadows cover vast areas of shallow coastal waters and play a vital role in ocean health. These underwater flowering plants, yes, they are plants, not algae, grow in soft sediments, forming dense beds that provide habitat for countless species. Young fish, seahorses, sea turtles, and dugongs all depend on seagrass meadows for food and shelter. Seagrasses also stabilize sediments, prevent erosion, and improve water quality by filtering pollutants. But perhaps most importantly, seagrass meadows are incredibly efficient at capturing and storing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Although they cover less than 0.5% of the seabed, they account for about 10% of the ocean's capacity to bury carbon. Gram for gram. Seagrass meadows can store carbon up to 35 times faster than tropical rainforests. These silent underwater gardens are unsung heroes in regulating our planet's climate. The ocean has tides, the regular rise and fall of the sea level, caused by the gravitational pull of the moon and, to a lesser extent, the sun. As the moon orbits the Earth, its gravity creates a bulge in the ocean on the side facing it, and another bulge on the opposite side. As the Earth rotates beneath these bulges, different locations experience high and low tide. Most coastal areas experience 2 high tides and 2 low tides per day, although the timing and extent vary depending on the geography. In some places, the difference between high and low tide is only a few centimeters. In others, such as the Bay of Fundy in Canada, the tidal range can exceed 16 meters. Tides create tidal zones, areas that are submerged at high tide and exposed at low tide. These zones are among the harshest environments on Earth, yet they teem with life adapted to constant change. The ocean breathes to the rhythm of the moon. Octopuses are among the most intelligent invertebrates on Earth. They have about 500 million neurons, roughly the same number as a dog. But 2/3 of these neurons are distributed across their 8 arms, not in their central brain. This means that each arm has a kind of independent mind, capable of acting semi-independently, while the central brain coordinates overall behavior. Octopuses can solve puzzles, open jars, navigate mazes, and even recognize individual people. They can change the color and texture of their skin in an instant, blending seamlessly into their surroundings to hide from predators or ambush prey. Some species can mimic other animals, such as venomous lionfish or sea snakes. Despite all this intelligence, octopuses are short-lived. Most species live only 1 to 2 years. They are also solitary creatures and rarely interact with others of their kind, except for mating. Evolution gave them intelligence, but not much time to use it. The Great Barrier Reef off the coast of Australia is the largest living structure on Earth. It stretches for 300 kilometers and is so vast that it can be seen from space. The reef actually consists of almost 3 0,000 individual reef systems, and hundreds of islands. It supports an incredible diversity of life, over 1,500 species of fish, 6 species of sea turtles, 30 species of whales and dolphins, and more than 400 species of coral. Coral reefs, like the Great Barrier Reef, take thousands of years to form, growing slowly as each generation of coral polyps builds upon the limestone skeletons of the previous one. The reef is both ancient and vibrant, a structure built by tiny animals working together over millennia. It shows us that great things can be built slowly, one small contribution at a time, by communities acting in harmony with their environment. Sharks have been swimming in Earth's oceans for over 400 million years. Long before trees existed on land, they have survived several mass extinctions that wiped out many other species. Modern sharks come in incredible diversity. There's the massive whale shark, which can grow to over 12 meters long but feeds on plankton. The elegant great white shark. The bizarre hammerhead shark with its T-shaped head, which enhances its sensory perception. And the tiny dwarf lantern shark, small enough to fit in your hand. Sharks play a crucial role as apex predators, helping to maintain the balance of marine ecosystems by controlling prey populations. Despite their fearsome reputation, sharks are more threatened by humans than we are by them. 10 million sharks are killed every year, primarily for their fins, and many species are now endangered. These ancient survivors need our protection to continue their long evolutionary journey. The ocean is full of sounds, creating an underwater symphony that most of us never hear. Whales sing, dolphins click and whistle, fish grunt and croak, shrimp snap their claws, making noises like fireworks. Even breaking waves, rain, and wind contribute to the ocean's soundscape. Sound travels much faster and farther in water than in air, about 4 times faster, making it the primary means by which many marine animals communicate and navigate. Whales can hear each other across entire ocean basins and exchange information over thousands of kilometers. Some fish produce sounds during courtship, while others use sound to defend territories or warn of danger. Human activities, ship engines, sonar, underwater construction, add a layer of noise that can disrupt these natural sounds and potentially affect the lives of animals that rely on hearing for survival. The ocean is anything but silent. It is a living, singing world beneath the surface. Sea turtles are ancient seafarers. They have been swimming in the Earth's oceans for over 100 million years, at the same time as the dinosaurs, and have changed remarkably little since then. Today, there are 7 species of sea turtles, from the massive leatherback turtle, which can weigh over 600 kilograms, to the smaller Ridley sea turtle. Sea turtles spend almost their entire lives at sea, but females return to beaches to lay eggs, often the same beach where they were born decades ago. Scientists still don't fully understand how they navigate thousands of kilometers of open ocean to find these nesting sites, but it likely involves sensing the Earth's magnetic field and using it like an internal compass. A female sea turtle digs a nest in the sand, lays about 100 eggs, carefully covers them, and returns to the ocean, leaving her offspring to fend for themselves. Only a tiny fraction of the hatchlings survive to adulthood, but those that do can live for 50 years or more, traversing oceans, silent and ancient. Mangrove forests grow along tropical and subtropical coastlines. their roots immersed in salty or brackish water. These trees have developed remarkable adaptations to survive in conditions that would kill most plants. Some mangrove species have aerial roots that protrude from the water, allowing the tree to respire in waterlogged soil. Others filter salt from the water they absorb, while some excrete excess salt through their leaves. Mangrove forests provide crucial ecosystem services. They protect coastlines from storm surges and erosion, filter pollutants from runoff before it reaches the ocean, and serve as nurseries for countless species of fish and crustaceans. Mangroves also store large amounts of carbon, even more than rainforests per unit area. Yet, mangrove forests are disappearing at an alarming rate worldwide, cleared for coastal development and aquaculture. Protecting these unique forests is essential for both ocean health and climate stability. They stand at the boundary between land and sea, holding these two worlds together. Bioluminescence, the ability of living organisms to produce light, is surprisingly widespread in the ocean. Scientists estimate that between 70 and 90% of deep-sea creatures can generate their own light through chemical reactions. They use this ability for various purposes: to attract prey, like the anglerfish with its glowing lure, to communicate with potential mates, to camouflage themselves by mimicking the faint light from above, or to scare away predators. Some squid even release glowing clouds of ink as a deception when threatened. The light is produced by a chemical reaction, usually involving a substance called luciferin and an enzyme called luciferase. Different species produce different colors. Blue and green are the most common because these wavelengths travel the farthest in water. Bioluminescence evolved independently many times, suggesting it offered a significant advantage in the dark depths of the ocean. In a world without sunlight, life learned to make its own stars. Kelp forests are underwater forests, formed by large brown algae that can grow incredibly fast, up to 0.5 meter per day under ideal conditions. These towering plants anchor themselves to rocky seabeds with root-like structures called clinging organs, and their long, flexible stems rise to the surface, sometimes reaching heights of 30 meters or more. Kelp forests create three-dimensional habitats teeming with life. Sea urchins, abalone, starfish, fish, seals, and sea otters all depend on kelp ecosystems. Sea otters, in particular, play a vital role in the conservation of kelp forests. They feed on sea urchins that graze on the kelp. Without sea otters to control urchin populations, the urchins could overgraze, destroying entire kelp forests and creating barren underwater deserts. This is an example of a keystone species, one whose presence has a disproportionate effect on the entire ecosystem. Kelp forests show us that underwater life is interconnected and that removing even one species can cause the entire structure to collapse. The twilight zone of the ocean, also called the mesopelagic zone, extends from about 200 to 1,000 meters below the surface. This is where sunlight fades to a faint blue twilight, where photosynthesis can no longer take place, but enough light remains to see shadows and shapes. Some of the ocean's strangest creatures live here: hatchetfish, with silvery bodies that reflect light to escape predators; vampire squid with webbed arms and glowing photophores; and lanternfish, with bioluminescent organs arranged in species-specific patterns. The twilight zone is also home to one of the largest migrations on Earth. Every night, billions of fish, squid, and other animals rise from the depths to the surface to feed, then sink back down during the day to escape predators that hunt by sight. This vertical migration occurs in oceans all over the world, transferring nutrients and energy between different ocean layers. It's a daily rhythm, as old as the ocean itself, mostly invisible to us above. The ocean absorbs about 30% of the carbon dioxide we release into the atmosphere, acting as a massive carbon sink that slows the pace of climate change. When CO2 dissolves in seawater, it forms carbonic acid, which slightly lowers the ocean's pH level, a process known as ocean acidification. The ocean's pH level has decreased by about 0.1 unit since the Industrial Revolution, a 26% increase in acidity. That sounds small, but the ocean's chemistry is delicate. Many marine organisms build shells and skeletons from calcium carbonate, which dissolves more readily in acidic water. Scientists are investigating how different species adapt, and some are showing surprising resilience. The ocean absorbs what we release, buffers changes, but is slowly revealing its limits. It reminds us that air and sea are connected, and what we do to one affects the other. Dolphins are highly intelligent marine mammals, known for their playful behavior and complex social structures. They live in groups called pods, which can range from a few individuals to hundreds, depending on the species and environment. Within these pods, dolphins form strong social bonds, care for injured or sick members, and even exhibit what appear to be cultural behaviors, learned traditions passed down from one generation to the next. For example, some dolphins in Shark Bay, Australia, use sponges as tools to protect their snouts while foraging on the seabed, a technique that mothers teach their calves. Dolphins communicate using a variety of clicks, whistles, and body language. Each dolphin has a unique signature whistle that functions like a name, and they use these whistles to call to one another. Research suggests that dolphins can recognize the signature whistles of other individuals they haven't seen for over 20 years. Their intelligence, memory, and emotional depth challenge us to reconsider what it means to be a person in this world. The ocean appears blue because water absorbs colors in the red part of the light spectrum more strongly than colors in the blue part. When sunlight, which contains all colors, enters the ocean, the water molecules absorb the warm colors red, orange, and yellow, leaving behind the cooler blue tones, which scatter and are reflected back to our eyes. That's why the ocean looks blue from above. But as you descend deeper, the colors disappear one by one. Red is the first to vanish, within just 10 meters of the surface. At about 30 meters, even bright orange or yellow objects appear gray. In the deep sea, almost everything is bathed in shades of blue and black. That's why many deep-sea predators are reddish in color. They appear black in the depths and are almost invisible. And that's why bioluminescent creatures often produce blue or green light. These are the only colors visible in their dark world. The ocean tells us that what we see depends on where we are, and that reality changes with depth. Let's pause here for a moment and become aware of your body. As you slowly exhale, appreciate every tiny cell within you. Trillions of organisms work in silence. Heart beats, lungs breathe, brain thinks, all without your command. Notice the gentle sensations on your skin, in your muscles, along your spine. You are a complete ecosystem, diverse, self-balancing. Now we continue. The ocean floor is constantly being created and destroyed. At mid-ocean ridges, tectonic plates pull apart, and magma rises from the mantle, cools, and forms new oceanic crust. This newly formed crust slowly spreads outward from the ridge, like a conveyor belt. Eventually, when it reaches the edge of a tectonic plate, it is forced down into the mantle at subduction zones, where it melts and is recycled. This process, called seafloor spreading, was discovered in the 1960 seconds and revolutionized our understanding of how the Earth works. It explains why the ocean floor is geologically young. The oldest oceanic crust is only about 200 million years old, while continental crust can be billions of years old. The seabed is not permanent. It is a temporary skin on a restless planet, constantly renewed, constantly in motion beneath the stillness of the water above. Seabirds spend most of their lives at sea, returning to land only to breed. Species such as albatrosses, petrels, and shearwaters can fly thousands of kilometers across the open ocean and rarely come within sight of land. The wandering albatross has the largest wingspan of any living bird, over 3 meters, and can glide for hours without flapping, riding air currents above the waves. These birds have developed remarkable adaptations for life in the ocean. They drink seawater and excrete excess salt through specialized glands near their nostrils. Many seabirds can locate food from great distances and use their sense of smell to detect chemicals released by feeding fish or phytoplankton blooms. They are also very loyal to their breeding colonies and often mate for life, returning to the same nesting sites year after year, sometimes even to the exact same spot. Seabirds are wanderers of sky and sea, living between two worlds. The ocean contains enormous underwater waterfalls and rivers. The largest underwater waterfall is located in the Denmark Strait between Greenland and Iceland, where cold, dense water from the Nordic seas sinks beneath warmer Atlantic water and plunges over 3,000 meters. The flow rate is estimated at 5 million cubic meters per second, about 2,000 times that of Niagara Falls. There are also underwater rivers, formed by differences in density due to temperature and salinity. In some places, layers of water with different densities flow past each other like separate streams. These underwater currents transport heat, nutrients, and oxygen across ocean basins and play a crucial role in regulating the global climate and supporting marine life. The ocean is not a still bath. It is in constant motion, with invisible currents and waterfalls that move enormous quantities of water in slow, powerful cycles. Marine sponges are among the simplest animals, yet they have existed for over 600 million years. Sponges have no organs, tissues, or even a nervous system. They are essentially colonies of cells organized around a network of pores and canals through which water flows. As water passes through, the sponge filters out bacteria, plankton, and organic particles for nourishment, while expelling waste. A single sponge can filter thousands of liters of water per day. Despite their simplicity, sponges are incredibly diverse. There are over 8,000 species, living in every marine environment from shallow reefs to the deep sea. Some sponges form partnerships with bacteria that produce toxic compounds to deter predators. These compounds are being studied as potential sources of new drugs, including antibiotics and cancer treatments. Sponges show us that you don't need complexity to be successful. Sometimes the simplest strategies work best. El Niño is a climate pattern that occurs every few years when warm water accumulates in the central and eastern Pacific Ocean, disrupting normal weather patterns around the globe. Normally, trade winds blow from east to west across the tropical Pacific, pushing warm surface water westward and allowing cold, nutrient-rich water to rise along the coast of South America. During El Niño, these winds weaken, warm water flows back eastward, and the upwelling of cold water decreases. This shift alters precipitation patterns, sea temperatures, and atmospheric circulation worldwide. It can bring droughts to some regions and floods to others, influencing hurricane activity and disrupting marine ecosystems. Fish populations collapse when nutrient-rich, cold water doesn't rise. El Niño demonstrates how interconnected Earth's systems are. A change in ocean temperature in one part of the world can alter the weather halfway around the planet. The ocean and the atmosphere are partners in a dance that shapes our climate. Barnacles are crustaceans, related to crabs and lobsters, but they spend their adult lives permanently attached to hard surfaces, rocks, ship hulls, whale skin, or even other animals. Barnacles begin their lives as free-swimming larvae, drifting with plankton until they find a suitable place to settle. Once attached, they secrete a powerful adhesive, one of the strongest natural adhesives known, and build a hard shell around themselves. They feed by extending feather-like appendages into the water to filter plankton. Some barnacle species live attached to whales, a relationship that usually appears harmless to the whale, but provides the barnacle with transportation and access to nutrient-rich waters. Barnacles can live for many years, growing slowly, adding layers to their shells, and surviving storms and waves. They teach us that sometimes the best strategy is to hold on and let the world come to you. The ocean is home to some of the greatest migrations on Earth. Grey whales travel up to 20,000 kilometers each year, traveling from their feeding grounds in the Arctic to breeding lagoons in Mexico. Arctic terns fly even farther, migrating annually from the Arctic to the Antarctic and back, a journey of over 70,000 kilometers. Leatherback turtles traverse entire ocean basins in search of jellyfish, their primary food source. Salmon are born in freshwater streams, migrate to the ocean where they spend most of their lives, and then return to the very stream where they hatch to spawn and die. These migrations are driven by the need to find food, reproduce, or escape harsh conditions. They are feats of endurance and navigation that we are only just beginning to understand. Hiking shows us that life is movement, and that home is often something worth traveling great distances for. Seahorses are unique fish with horse-like heads, prehensile tails, and upright postures. Unlike most fish, seahorses swim vertically, propelled by rapidly flapping a dorsal fin. They are not strong swimmers and often anchor themselves to seagrass or coral with their tails. Seahorses have elongated snouts and no teeth. They feed by sucking in tiny crustaceans and plankton with remarkable speed and precision. But perhaps their most unusual characteristic is their reproductive behavior. Male seahorses become pregnant. The female lays her eggs in a pouch on the male's belly, where he fertilizes and carries them until they hatch. He then gives birth to dozens or even hundreds of tiny seahorses. This role reversal is rare in nature. Seahorses mate for life and perform daily greeting rituals, swallowing tails and changing colors. They are gentle creatures, moving slowly and vulnerable, showing us that gentleness has its place in the ocean. The ocean contains underwater lakes and rivers, pockets of super salty water that are denser than the surrounding seawater and settle in depressions on the seabed. These brine pools can be toxic, deadly to most marine life that enters them, because of their high salinity, low oxygen levels, and sometimes high concentrations of methane or hydrogen sulfide. But at the edges, specialized bacteria and other microorganisms thrive, forming unique ecosystems that don't rely on sunlight. Submersibles exploring these brine pools describe them as eerie. You see what looks like a lake shore, complete with a distinct surface, waves, and even rain of dense brine droplets falling into the pool. Fish or crabs that swim into the brine often die almost instantly, their bodies preserved in the hostile environment. These underwater lakes are windows into extreme chemistry, places where life transcends boundaries we never thought possible. Sea otters are marine mammals that live along the coasts of the North Pacific. They are among the few mammals that use tools, often seen floating on their backs while using stones to crack open shellfish. Sea otters have the densest fur of any animal, up to 1 million hairs per square inch, which traps air and provides insulation in the cold water. Unlike other marine mammals, otters don't have a thick layer of blubber. They rely entirely on their fur for warmth, which makes them vulnerable to oil spills. Otters need to eat about 25% of their body weight every day to maintain their high metabolism. They sleep floating on their backs, often wrapping themselves in kelp to avoid drifting away. Sea otters are also keystone species in kelp forest ecosystems. Their presence or absence can determine whether a coastline has lush kelp forests or barren, hedgehog-covered rocks. They are small animals with a big ecological impact. The Sargasso Sea is a region in the North Atlantic Ocean, defined not by land, but by ocean currents. It is bordered by 4 currents: the Gulf Stream, the North Atlantic Current, the Canary Current, and the North Atlantic Equatorial Current, which circulate clockwise and create a relatively calm area in the center. The Sargasso Sea is named after sargassum, a type of free-floating brown algae that forms vast, floating mats across its surface. These algae provide habitat for a unique community of organisms, including fish, crabs, shrimp, and sea turtles. Many species are found nowhere else. The Sargasso Sea is also a spawning ground for European and American eels, which travel thousands of kilometers up freshwater rivers to reproduce in these warm waters. It is a sea within a sea, a place defined by movement and life, not by fixed boundaries. It tells us that not all borders are walls. Some are rivers that meander to create protected areas. Coral bleaching occurs when corals expel the symbiotic algae that live in their tissues, usually in response to stress, such as high water temperatures. The algae provide the coral with most of its energy through photosynthesis and give it its color. Without the algae, the coral turns white, bleached, and becomes vulnerable. The Great Barrier Reef has experienced several bleaching events in recent years. In 2016, 2017, 2020, 2022, and again in 2024. During these events, Corals turn white as they release their algal partners in response to warmer water. Some areas have shown remarkable recovery between events, while others have been permanently altered. Scientists continue to study which coral species adapt best, hoping to understand resilience in warming seas. Bleaching shows us that corals, like all living things, respond to their environment. Sometimes they recover when conditions improve. Sometimes they don't. It's a reminder that all life exists in delicate balances. The dead zones of the ocean are areas where oxygen levels have dropped so low that most marine life cannot survive. These hypoxic zones are caused by nutrient pollution, excess nitrogen and phosphorus from agricultural runoff and sewage flowing into coastal waters. These nutrients fuel massive algal blooms. As the algae die and decompose, bacteria consume oxygen in the process, depleting it of the water. Without oxygen, fish and other mobile animals flee or die. Bottom-dwelling creatures that cannot escape suffocate. The number and size of dead zones have increased worldwide. There are now hundreds, ranging from small coastal areas to regions covering thousands of square kilometers. The largest is located in the Gulf of Mexico, fed by nutrients flowing down the Mississippi River. Dead zones are reversible if nutrient pollution is reduced, but recovery takes time. They serve as reminders that what we do on land eventually reaches the sea. Manta rays are the largest rays in the ocean, with wingspans that can exceed 7 meters. Despite their size, they are gentle giants and feed on plankton by swimming through the water with their mouths wide open. Manta rays have the largest brain-to-body ratio of any fish and exhibit behaviors indicative of high intelligence. They are curious, can recognize themselves in mirrors, and appear to playfully interact with divers. Manta rays often visit cleaning stations on coral reefs, where smaller fish pick parasites from their skin. They hover motionless for hours, allowing the cleaners to do their work. Manta rays are also migratory, traveling long distances across the open ocean. Despite their grace and intelligence, many manta populations are threatened by fishing. They are caught for their gill rakers, which are used in traditional medicine, although there is no evidence of their medicinal value. Protecting these creatures means respecting intelligence wherever we find it. The ocean food web begins with phytoplankton and ends with apex predators, but it is far more complex than a simple chain. Energy and nutrients flow through multiple pathways, with many organisms feeding at different levels throughout their lives. Small fish eat plankton, larger fish eat small fish, and sharks or whales eat the large fish. But there's also the microbial loop. Bacteria consume dissolved organic matter, protozoa eat bacteria, and small animals eat protozoa. When large animals die, they sink to the ocean floor, creating whalefall communities that support entire communities of scavengers and decomposers for decades. Nutrients are constantly recycled, moved between the surface and the depths by currents and vertical migration. Everything is connected in obvious and hidden ways. The ocean is not a hierarchy. It is a web of relationships where every thread counts. If you're still awake, still listening to the secrets of the earth, it means that your curiosity hasn't completely subsided. And that's okay. Breathe in gently. Feel the weight of your body on the bed, grounded like ancient stone. We wander together through the silent wisdom of nature, and we will continue, slowly. Sea ice forms when seawater freezes. Unlike icebergs, which are pieces of glaciers that have broken off and drifted into the sea, sea ice forms directly from seawater. As it freezes, most of the salt is expelled, creating pockets of highly saline brine that sink. The ice itself is almost fresh. Sea ice plays a crucial role in polar ecosystems and the global climate. Its white surface reflects most of the sun's energy back into space, helping to keep polar regions cold. It provides habitat for seals, polar bears, and penguins, and beneath the ice, algae grow and support a food chain that includes krill, fish, and whales. But sea ice is disappearing. The extent of Arctic sea ice has been decreasing for decades, shrinking most dramatically at the end of each summer. Less ice means more dark ocean surface absorbing heat, which accelerates warming, a feedback loop that is difficult to stop. The loss of sea ice affects not only polar regions, but weather patterns worldwide. Giant squid are elusive creatures of the deep sea, rarely seen alive. For centuries, they were only known from dead specimens washed ashore or found in the stomachs of sperm whales. Giant squid can reach enormous sizes. The largest confirmed specimen was about 13 meters long, although there are unconfirmed reports of even larger individuals. They have the largest eyes of any known animal, up to 30 centimeters in diameter, adapted to detect faint light and movement in the deep sea. Giant squid are powerful predators, using their 8 arms and 2 longer feeding tentacles, fringed with powerful suckers and surrounded by sharp hooks, to catch fish and other squid. They are believed to be ambush predators, prowling in the darkness until prey comes within range. Despite their size, we know very little about their lives. The first video of a live giant squid in its natural habitat was only recorded in 2012. They remain largely myth and mystery, inhabitants of the last unexplored frontier. Estuaries are places where rivers meet the sea, mixing fresh and salt water to create brackish environments. These transitional zones are among the most productive ecosystems on Earth. They trap sediments and nutrients carried by rivers, creating rich mudflats and marshes. Estuaries serve as nurseries for many species of fish and invertebrates, providing shelter and abundant food for young animals before they migrate to the open ocean. Birds flock to estuaries to feed on fish, shellfish, and invertebrates. Estuaries also buffer coastlines from storms, absorb floodwaters, and filter pollutants from runoff before it reaches the ocean. Despite their value, estuaries worldwide are threatened by development, pollution, and rising sea levels. Protecting river mouths means protecting the border where land and sea negotiate their relationship, a place of constant mixing and renewal. The sunlight zone is the uppermost layer of the ocean, extending from the surface down to about 200 meters. Here, the majority of life in the ocean exists, sustained through photosynthesis. Phytoplankton converts sunlight and dissolved carbon dioxide into organic matter, forming the base of the food chain. The warmth and light create ideal conditions for growth and reproduction. Coral reefs, kelp forests, and most commercially important fish species are located in the sunlight zone, but this abundance makes them vulnerable. This is where overfishing has the greatest impact, where plastic pollution accumulates, and where the effects of climate change are most immediate, through warming and acidification. The sunlight zone is the interface between the ocean and the atmosphere, the layer most directly affected by what happens above. It is both the most vibrant and the most fragile part of the sea. Nudibranchs, often called sea slugs, are shell-less mollusks, known for their extraordinary colors and shapes. There are over 3,000 species, ranging in size from a few millimeters to 30 centimeters in length. Some are dull, brown or gray, but many are brilliantly colored: electric blue, vibrant purple, neon orange, often with patterns or appendages that make them look like tiny underwater dragons or aliens. These bright colors often serve as warnings. Many nudibranchs are venomous, and their colors advertise this to potential predators. Remarkably, some nudibranchs eat animals like jellyfish or anemones, ingest their stinging cells without triggering them, and then integrate these cells into their own tissue for defense. They are essentially stealing weapons from their prey. Slugs are both beautiful and bizarre, proof that evolution can create forms that appear more like art than biology. The seabed contains black smokers, hydrothermal vents that spew out water superheated to over 400 degrees Celsius. These vents form where tectonic plates are pulled apart, and seawater seeps into cracks in the seabed, is heated by magma, dissolves minerals from the surrounding rock, and then erupts back into the cold ocean. When hot, mineral-rich water meets cold seawater, the dissolved minerals precipitate out, forming clouds of dark particles and building tall, chimney-like structures. Despite the extreme conditions, intense heat, crushing pressure, toxic chemicals, and no sunlight, life thrives at hydrothermal vents. Bacteria use the chemicals from the springs as an energy source, a process called chemosynthesis. These bacteria form the base of a unique food chain that supports tube worms, mussels, crabs, and fish found nowhere else. Hydrothermal spring ecosystems show us that life doesn't always need the sun. Energy comes in many forms, and life is resourceful enough to use them all. Plankton includes both tiny plants and animals that drift with currents. Although they appear passive, many migrate hundreds of meters vertically each day, rising to the surface at night to feed and sinking to darker depths during the day to hide from predators. This daily rhythm moves more biomass than any other migration on Earth. When plankton eventually dies and sinks, it carries carbon absorbed from the atmosphere to the deep sea, where it is stored for centuries. These tiny drivers not only feed the ocean, they also help regulate our planet's climate. Plankton ranges in size from microscopic bacteria to jellyfish several meters long. Baleen whales, manta rays, and whale sharks feed directly on plankton, while countless other species depend on it indirectly. In these invisible drivers of the ocean, we find the foundation of almost all marine life. Seagrasses and kelp look similar, but are quite different. Seagrasses are flowering plants with roots, leaves, and flowers that evolved from land plants that returned to the sea millions of years ago. Kelp, on the other hand, are algae, simple organisms without true roots, stems, or leaves. Both are important for coastal ecosystems. Seagrasses stabilize sediments and provide habitat for fish, while seaweeds like kelp form underwater forests. Seaweeds are divided into three main groups based on their color: green algae, brown algae, including kelp, and red algae. Some red algae can live in deeper water than any other photosynthetic organism because they can utilize blue light, which penetrates deeper. The distinction between seagrasses and seaweed tells us that similar phenomena can conceal very different origins, and that evolution often finds multiple solutions to the same problems. The ocean absorbs sound, but not uniformly. Low-frequency sounds travel much farther than high-frequency sounds. That's why whales use low-frequency calls to communicate over long distances. Some whale songs, especially those of blue and fin whales, contain frequencies below 20 Hz, lower than humans can hear, and can travel hundreds or even thousands of kilometers. In the 1,990 seconds, researchers discovered a sound nicknamed the bloop, an ultra-low frequency noise picked up by underwater microphones thousands of kilometers apart. For years, its source remained unknown, leading to speculation about giant, unknown creatures. Eventually, scientists determined it was likely the sound of ice breaking and calving from Antarctic glaciers, an ice quake. The ocean carries sounds over vast distances, creating an acoustic world we are only beginning to understand. Listening to the ocean reveals a hidden level of communication and activity that occurs beneath the surface. Silence. Bycatch refers to marine animals that are unintentionally caught while fishing for other species. It is one of the greatest threats to marine life. Dolphins, sea turtles, seabirds, sharks, and many fish species are caught in nets intended for tuna, shrimp, or other target species. Some are released alive, but many die. In some fisheries, bycatch exceeds the intended catch. Efforts to reduce bycatch include modifying fishing gear, using turtle excluders in shrimp nets, using circle hooks instead of J-hooks in longline fishing, and using bird scarer lines to keep seabirds away from fishing vessels. These modifications work when used correctly, but enforcement is challenging in international waters. Reducing bycatch requires collaboration between scientists, fishermen, and policymakers. It's about recognizing that the ocean is not just a resource to be extracted from, but a living system where all parts are interconnected, and that careless actions have consequences that spread outwards. We're halfway there. Sit still, feel the silence, and imagine, even when everything appears empty, the space is always full of waves, vibrations, invisible energy. The space within you and around you is never truly empty. Imagine floating on a calm lake, but there is always a gentle current beneath the surface. Now, we continue our journey. Orcas, also known as killer whales, are indeed the largest members of the dolphin family. They are apex predators, hunting everything from fish and seals to whales much larger than themselves. Orcas hunt cooperatively, employing sophisticated strategies. They work together to create waves that wash seals off ice floes, coordinate to separate a whale calf from its mother, or herd fish into tight balls for easy feeding. Different orca populations have distinct cultures, unique hunting techniques, vocalizations, and social structures passed down through generations. Some specialize in hunting fish, others prefer seals, and some hunt other whales. These dietary preferences are so pronounced that different orca populations do not interbreed, even when their ranges overlap. Orcas are highly intelligent, socially complex, and live in close-knit family groups, led by matriarchs. They demonstrate that culture exists throughout the animal kingdom, not just in humans. The Mariana Trench is the deepest place on Earth and lies in the western Pacific Ocean. Its deepest point, Challenger Deep, reaches about 935 meters below sea level, almost 11 kilometers deep. That's deeper than Mount Everest is tall, with over a kilometer of clearance. Only a handful of people have visited this extreme environment. The pressure at the bottom is over 1,000 times greater than at sea level, enough to crush most submarines. And yet, life exists here. Amphipods, sea cucumbers, and even fish have been found alive in the trench. These creatures have adapted to survive extreme pressure, temperatures just above freezing, and total darkness. Scientists are still discovering new species here. The Mariana Trench represents one of the last truly unexplored places on our planet. A reminder that Earth still holds secrets, and that life's determination to survive surpasses our expectations. Sea otters have the densest fur of any mammal, which keeps them warm in the cold ocean water. But this fur requires constant grooming. Otters spend a significant portion of each day grooming, rubbing and blowing air into their fur to maintain its insulating properties. If the fur becomes matted or soiled, by oil spills, for example, it loses its ability to trap air, and the otter can die of hypothermia. This vulnerability makes sea otters particularly vulnerable to human activities. The Exxon Valdez oil spill in 1989 killed thousands of otters. Sea otters remind us how adapted animals are to their environments, and how seemingly small changes can have life-threatening or even fatal consequences. What appears soft and lovable is actually a finely tuned survival mechanism, maintained through constant effort, fragile yet resilient. The ocean depths are under enormous pressure. For every 10 meters you descend, the pressure increases by about 1 atmosphere, roughly the pressure of the air at sea level. At a depth of 1,000 meters, the pressure is 100 atmospheres. At the bottom of the Mariana Trench, it is over 1,000 atmospheres. To put this in perspective, it's like the weight of a small car pressing down on every square centimeter of surface. Humans need specialized equipment to survive even moderate depths. At great depths, only the most powerful submersibles can withstand the crushing forces. And yet, deep-sea creatures have adapted. Their bodies consist mainly of water, which is incompressible, and they often lack air spaces that would collapse under pressure. Some fish have proteins in their cells that function properly, despite the pressure. Life finds ways to inhabit even the most hostile places. The deep sea is proof that adaptation knows no bounds. Coastal wetlands, marshes, bogs, and estuaries act as buffers between land and sea. They absorb storm surges and reduce flooding in coastal communities. Their vegetation slows the flow of water, allowing sediments to settle and improving water quality before it reaches the ocean. Wetlands are also incredibly productive and support diverse food webs. Fish, crabs, and shrimp breed in wetlands before migrating to deeper waters. Birds nest and feed in wetland habitats. Despite their importance, coastal wetlands are disappearing alarmingly fast, being drained and filled for development or agriculture. In some regions, over half of the historical wetland area has been lost. Protecting remaining wetlands and restoring degraded ones is essential. Wetlands are natural sponges, absorbing excess water, filtering pollutants, and supporting life at the boundary between worlds. Lionfish are beautiful but invasive predators in the Atlantic and Caribbean, native to the Indo-Pacific. They were likely introduced through aquarium releases in the 1,980 seconds and 1,990 seconds. Lionfish have venomous spines, voracious appetites, and few natural enemies in their new environment. They reproduce rapidly and eat almost anything smaller than themselves, including juvenile reef fish. Their invasion has led to significant declines in native fish populations. Efforts to control lionfish include encouraging people to catch and eat them. Lionfish meat is safe and delicious once the venomous spines are removed. Some areas hold lionfish derbies, competitions to catch the most lionfish. The lionfish invasion shows us how human actions, even seemingly small ones, like releasing a pet, can have large unintended consequences that ripple through ecosystems and are difficult to reverse. The salinity of the ocean varies. The global average is about 35 parts per thousand, but this differs depending on location. In areas with high evaporation and low rainfall, such as the Red Sea or the Persian Gulf, salinity can exceed 40 parts per thousand. In areas with heavy rainfall or freshwater inflow from rivers, salinity decreases. The Baltic Sea has a salinity of only 10 parts per thousand in some areas. Salinity influences density, which drives ocean currents. Dense, salty water sinks, while lighter, fresher water floats. This stratification and movement create currents that transport heat and nutrients around the globe, influencing climate and marine life. The ocean is not uniform. It is a mosaic of different water masses, each with its own temperature, salinity, and chemistry, all constantly mixing and moving in patterns, both chaotic and ordered. Parrotfish play an unusual but vital role in coral reef ecosystems. They feed by scraping algae from coral rocks with their beak-like teeth, consuming coral skeletons in the process. Their digestive systems break down the rock, extracting nutrients and excreting the indigestible calcium carbonate as fine sand. A single parrotfish can produce hundreds of kilograms of sand per year. Much of the white sand on tropical beaches comes from the digestion of parrotfish. These fish also help keep reefs healthy by controlling algae growth and preventing it from overgrowing and suffocating coral. Parrotfish are crucial for reef resilience. Protecting parrotfish populations means protecting the health of the reefs and, consequently, the beaches on which many communities depend for tourism and storm protection. They are living sand makers, humble architects of paradise. Some fish can change their sex. Many fish species, including groupers, wrasses, and parrotfish, are sequential hermaphrodites. They begin their lives as one sex and change to the other. The most common pattern is protogyny, where fish begin as females and later become males. This often happens when the dominant male in a group dies or is removed. The largest female will change sex and take over. This flexibility gives these species evolutionary advantages in changing environments or when populations are small. The change involves not only behavior, but complete reproductive transformation, including gonadal structure. Fish challenge our assumptions that biological sex is fixed and immutable. In the ocean, identity can be fluid. adapting to social and environmental conditions. Nature is much more flexible than we often assume. Marine Protected Areas, or MPAs, are regions where human activities are regulated to protect marine ecosystems. Some MPAs allow limited fishing or tourism, while others are completely protected, no-take zones. Studies consistently show that MPAs benefit both wildlife and humans. Within MPAs, fish populations increase in size and number, biodiversity improves, and ecosystems become more resilient. The benefits often spill over into surrounding areas as fish migrate outwards and replenish stocks in overfished regions. Creating more and better designed marine habitats is one of the most promising strategies for ocean health. The global community has committed to protecting 30% of the ocean by 2030, a pledge aimed at helping marine life recover and adapt. As of 2025, approximately 8% of the ocean is formally protected, with progress being made gradually. These protected areas are investments in resilience, places where nature can show us what recreation looks like. Hagfish are ancient, jawless fish that resemble eels. They are best known for their ability to produce enormous amounts of mucus when threatened. A hagfish can release enough mucus in seconds to clog a predator's gills, allowing the hagfish to escape. The mucus consists of mucus and protein strands that expand when mixed with seawater. Hagfish feed on dead or dying animals on the seabed, burrowing into carcasses and eating from the inside out. This may seem unpleasant, but hagfish play an important role as scavengers, recycling nutrients. Hagfish have existed for over 300 million years with little change. They have no true vertebrae, a cartilaginous skull, and can tie their bodies into knots. They are living links to ancient life, survivors who found a niche and never had to change it. Tsunamis are not like ordinary wind-driven waves. They are caused by sudden movements of the seabed, usually by underwater earthquakes, but also by landslides or volcanic eruptions. When the seabed shifts, it displaces massive amounts of water and creates waves that can travel across entire ocean basins at speeds of up to 800 kilometers per hour. In deep water, tsunamis may be less than a meter high and pass by unnoticed. But as they approach shallow coastal waters, they slow down and grow taller, sometimes reaching heights of 30 meters or more. The danger lies not only in the height of the wave but also in its wavelength. Tsunami waves can travel hundreds of kilometers, allowing water to continue for minutes or even hours. Tsunamis remind us of the slow forces of the Earth that are suddenly released, of how the planet moves beneath us in rhythms we rarely feel, and how the meeting point of land and sea is reshaped over time, sometimes gradually, sometimes in sudden shifts. Hermit crabs don't build their own shells. Instead, they inhabit empty shells belonging to snails and other mollusks, carrying their borrowed homes while foraging for food. As a hermit crab grows, it needs larger shells, so it seeks out new ones and tries them on. Sometimes hermit crabs gather in groups and exchange shells, forming vacancy chains where each crab moves into a shell vacated by a larger individual. Hermit crabs are vulnerable, exposed, and soft-bodied during molting. They must balance the risks of shell molting against the need for better protection. In areas where natural shells are scarce, often due to shell collecting by humans, hermit crabs have been found living inside bottle caps, light bulbs, or pieces of plastic. They adapt as best they can, but their plight shows how human activities affect even small creatures in unexpected ways. The color of the ocean varies depending on what's in the water. Clear, open ocean with little plankton appears deep blue. Coastal waters with more sediment or phytoplankton blooms can look green, brown, or even red. Red tides are caused by blooms of certain algae that produce pigments. While not all red tides are harmful, some algae release toxins that can kill fish, poison shellfish, and cause respiratory irritation in humans. These harmful algal blooms have become more frequent, likely due to nutrient pollution and warming waters. Satellite monitoring of ocean color helps scientists track phytoplankton blooms and assess ocean health. The changing colors of the sea tell stories about life within it, abundance, change, and sometimes distress. The ocean reveals its moods through color, if we know how to read them. Shipwrecks become artificial reefs, providing hard surfaces for marine life to colonize in areas where the seabed is otherwise soft sand or mud. Over time, shipwrecks become encrusted with algae, sponges, corals, and barnacles. Fish seek shelter within the structure, and larger predators are attracted by the abundance of prey. Wrecks can support remarkable biodiversity, sometimes competing with natural reefs. The deliberate sinking of ships to create artificial reefs has become a management strategy in some areas. Although it must be carried out carefully, ships must be cleaned of pollutants, and their placement must take currents and ecosystems into account. Old ships are transformed from human artifacts into habitats. Reminders that nature is opportunistic, always ready to colonize new surfaces, turning human loss into ecological gain and blending the past into the vibrant present. Starfish, commonly called sea stars, are not fish but echinoderms, related to sea urchins and sea cucumbers. Most have 5 arms radiating from a central disc, although some species have many more. Starfish can regenerate lost arms, and in some species, a single severed arm can grow into a completely new individual. They move using hundreds of tiny tube feet on their underside, coordinated by a simple nervous system. Starfish are predators and feed on mollusks, other echinoderms, and even corals. Some species can pry open mussel shells with their arms and then evert their stomach into the shell to digest the soft tissue inside. Starfish lack centralized brains, yet they navigate complex environments, find food, and respond to threats. They show us that intelligence is not always centralized, that minds can be distributed, and that simple systems can generate complex behaviors. Elephant seals are deep divers, capable of reaching depths of over 2,000 meters and remaining underwater for more than 2 hours. They make these extreme dives daily, feeding on squid and fish in the deep sea. To manage such dives, elephant seals have adaptations that would seem extreme in land mammals. They can slow their heart rate to just a few beats per minute, divert blood away from non-essential organs, and store large amounts of oxygen in their blood and muscles. Between dives, they surface briefly to breathe and then dive again. Male elephant seals can weigh over 2,000 kilograms, making them the largest seals. During the breeding season, males fight fiercely for access to females and bellow loudly, hence the name elephant seal, which refers to both their size and their trunk-like inflatable nose. These seals are champions of the deep and live between two worlds, one of air and one of oppressive darkness. Seabirds possess a remarkable ability to navigate vast, featureless oceans. Many species can return to tiny islands after months or years at sea. They utilize multiple cues: the position of the sun and stars, the Earth's magnetic field, the patterns of waves and swell, and even olfactory clues carried by the wind. Some seabirds can detect gradients in magnetic fields and use this information like an internal GPS. Albatrosses, for example, can travel thousands of kilometers and return precisely to the same nesting site year after year. This navigational ability is still not fully understood, but it involves the integration of multiple sensory systems and learned experience. Seabirds tell us that the open ocean is not as featureless as it appears. It is full of information, invisible to us, but readable for those who know how to look. Cephalopods, octopuses, squid, and cuttlefish have blue blood. Their blood contains a copper-based molecule called hemocyanin, instead of the iron-based hemoglobin found in vertebrates. Hemocyanin is more efficient at transporting oxygen in cold, oxygen-poor environments, which is why it is common in marine invertebrates. But blue blood is just one of many unusual traits of cephalopods. They have 3 hearts, large brains, and complex nervous systems. They can learn, remember, and solve problems. They instantly change color and texture to blend in with their surroundings or to communicate. Yet despite their intelligence, cephalopods are short-lived. Most live only 1 to 2 years. It is as if evolution experimented with intelligence in a different direction, creating minds that burn brightly but briefly, leaving us wondering what else might be possible in the vast diversity of life. Microplastics are tiny fragments of plastic, smaller than 5 millimeters. They originate from the breakdown of larger plastic items, microbeads in cosmetics, fibers from synthetic clothing, and pellets used in manufacturing. Microplastics are now found throughout the ocean, from surface waters to the deepest trenches, even in Arctic ice. Marine animals ingest microplastics, mistaking them for food. The particles can accumulate in their tissues and be passed on through the food chain. Microplastics are tiny, persistent, and invisible to the naked eye. They remind us that everything we use eventually travels somewhere, breaks down into smaller pieces, drifts with currents, and becomes part of the ocean's history. Understanding this helps us choose more carefully what we put into the world. The long-term health effects are still being studied, but research continues on how we can reduce this invisible burden on the ocean. Mapping the seabed has revealed underwater features we never knew existed. Massive underwater volcanoes, called seamounts, rise thousands of meters from the ocean floor, but don't reach the surface. These seamounts create oases of life, disrupting currents and causing nutrient-rich water to rise, attracting fish, sharks, and marine mammals. Some seamounts are home to unique species found nowhere else. Nevertheless, many seamounts remain unexplored and uncharted. The seabed has mountain ranges, canyons deeper than the Grand Canyon, vast sedimentary plains, and strange features like cold springs where methane bubbles up, supporting ecosystems similar to hydrothermal vents. Mapping the seabed is a slow process. We have only mapped about 20% at high resolution. The ocean conceals an entire world of geography beneath its surface, waiting to be discovered, explored, and understood. Flying fish can glide above the water's surface for distances of up to 200 meters. They build up speed underwater, then break through the surface and spread their enlarged pectoral fins like wings. They can fly for over 40 seconds and sometimes reach heights of over 1 meter. Some species have 4 wings, enlarged pectoral fins, and pelvic fins. Flying fish use this ability to escape predators like dolphins and tuna. They can even adjust their flight path in the air by dipping their tails back into the water for an extra boost of speed. Flying fish show us that the boundary between water and air is not absolute. Life constantly crosses it, finding ways to utilize both environments. They are creatures of the in-between, thriving in transition. Sea cucumbers are strange, sausage-shaped echinoderms that live on the seabed. They feed by filtering sediment, extracting organic particles, and expelling the rest. Some species have specialized feeding tentacles that they extend into the water to catch floating food. Sea cucumbers play an important role in nutrient recycling and sediment mixing. When threatened, some sea cucumbers can expel their internal organs through their anus as a defense mechanism. The sticky, toxic organs can entangle or distract a predator, while the sea cucumber escapes. Remarkably, the sea cucumber can regenerate the lost organs over several weeks. Others can expel sticky threads. Sea cucumbers are bizarre yet resilient creatures that appear comically defenseless, yet survive through strategies that are both repulsive and effective. They tell us that survival comes in many forms. The Gulf Stream is one of the strongest ocean currents in the world, flowing along the east coast of the United States and then across the Atlantic towards Europe. It transports warm water from the Gulf of Mexico northward, releasing heat into the atmosphere and influencing the climate over a vast region. The Gulf Stream moves approximately 4 billion cubic meters of water per second, a flow rate far greater than all the world's rivers combined. This current is part of a larger system of currents called the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, AMOC, which plays a crucial role in global climate regulation. There are concerns that climate change could weaken or disrupt this current system, with potentially serious consequences for weather patterns, sea levels, and marine ecosystems. Ocean currents are like planetary arteries, and changes to them affect everyone, everywhere. Sand dollars are flat, circular relatives of sea urchins. They live partially buried in the sand and use tiny spines on their underside to move around and feed on algae, detritus, and small organisms. The familiar white sand dollar you find on beaches is actually the skeleton or test of a dead sand dollar. Living sand dollars are covered in short, soft spines and are usually gray, brown, or purple. Like other echinoderms, sand dollars have 5-part symmetry, visible in the petal-like pattern on their surface. These patterns are actually the locations of tube feet modified for respiration. Sand dollars can clone themselves by splitting in two when food is scarce, a process called fission. Each half regenerates the missing parts. They are creatures of patience, lying still, sifting food from sand, enduring tides and storms. Simple and symmetrical. You might be feeling tired right now. That's perfectly fine. Breathe slowly. Feel the cycles. Waves rise and fall. Tides come and go. The moon pulls the ocean. The ocean responds. Everything is a circle, a cycle, an endless rhythm. Like your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. A small cycle in the vast universe. You are also part of this eternal movement. You don't have to hold on to anything. Let everything unfold in its perfect order, flowing silently in and out like tides, unhurried, without resistance, simply existing. We're almost there. Seaweed can grow remarkably fast. Giant kelp can grow up to 60 centimeters in a single day under ideal conditions, making it one of the fastest growing organisms on Earth. This rapid growth is driven by photosynthesis and the availability of nutrients in cold coastal waters. Seaweed farming is expanding worldwide, producing food for humans and livestock, as well as ingredients for cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and biofuels. Seaweed farming has a relatively low environmental impact compared to terrestrial agriculture. No fresh water is needed. No fertilizers or pesticides are required, and it can even help absorb excess nutrients from coastal pollution. Seaweed is an ancient food source from the sea, simple yet valuable. Cleaner wrasse provides services for other fish by consuming parasites, dead skin, and mucus. Cleaner wrasse establish cleaning stations on coral reefs where larger fish come to be cleaned. The larger fish, even predators, hover patiently while the cleaner wrasse picks at their bodies, gills, and mouths. This relationship benefits both. The cleaner gets food, and the client gets relief from parasites. Some fish travel considerable distances to regularly visit cleaning stations. The relationship is based on trust. The larger fish could easily eat the cleaner, but doesn't. There are even imitator species that mimic cleaners but take chunks of flesh. The existence of cleaners and imitators shows that both cooperation and deception have evolved in the ocean. The midnight zone is the largest habitat on Earth by volume, extending from 1,000 to 4,000 meters deep across all ocean. Food here is scarce and falls slowly from above like snow. Animals have developed remarkable efficiency, slow movement, low metabolic rates, and expandable stomachs to consume whatever comes their way, no matter how large. Many are black or red for camouflage. Some produce light to attract mates or prey, though it appears lifeless. This zone harbors countless species that we have barely begun to catalogue. It is a reminder that Earth's largest habitats are dark, cold, and under pressure, yet teeming with life that finds ways to survive in silence. Blue whales are the largest animals that have ever lived on Earth, larger than any dinosaur. An adult blue whale can reach lengths of almost 30 meters and weigh up to 200 tons, roughly the weight of 30 elephants. The largest individuals ever measured came close to this, making them not only the largest animals alive today, but the largest known to have ever lived on Earth. Despite their size, blue whales feed on tiny krill, filtering thousands of them from the water with their baleen plates. A blue whale's heart is as big as a small car, and its tongue can weigh as much as an elephant. Their calls are among the loudest sounds produced by any animal, reaching levels of over 180 decibels and traveling across entire ocean basins. They show us that greatness and gentleness can coexist. Hermit crabs sometimes live with sea anemones attached to their shells. The anemones provide protection with their stinging tentacles and deter predators. In return, The anemones can move around, gaining access to more food while the crab forages. When a hermit crab moves to a larger shell, it will often carefully transfer the anemones to the new one. This relationship, called mutualism, benefits both partners. Similar partnerships exist throughout the ocean. Clownfish live beneath anemones. Shrimp share caves with gobies, and remoras ride on sharks. These relationships tell us that survival often depends on cooperation, that individuals can be stronger together, and that the ocean is full of unlikely friendships born of mutual need. The ocean contains rivers, currents of water that flow through the sea like rivers. The Gulf Stream is one example. Another is the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, which flows continuously around Antarctica and is the longest and most powerful ocean current. It connects the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans and plays a crucial role in the distribution of heat and the regulation of the climate. These currents are driven by wind, differences in density, and the Earth's rotation. They transport heat from the equator to the poles, nutrients from deep to shallow waters, and even marine life over vast distances. Ocean currents are like planetary arteries, circulating vital resources. The ocean is always in motion, even when its surface appears calm. Stingrays are flat fish, related to sharks, with skeletons made of cartilage instead of bone. They have a venomous barb on their tail for defense, which they use when stepped on or threatened. Most stingrays are docile and will flee rather than attack. They spend much of their time partially buried in the sand, using their flat bodies and coloration as camouflage. Stingrays feed on mollusks, crustaceans, and small fish, which they detect using electroreceptors that sense the weak electric fields emitted by living creatures. Some ray species, such as manta rays and eagle rays, have evolved to live in open water rather than on the seabed. They swim by beating their wing-like pectoral fins. Rays are graceful and glide through the water like underwater birds, peacefully, until they are provoked. The seabed is covered with sediments, layers of sand, mud, and organic material that have accumulated over millions of years. In some places, these sediments are thousands of meters thick. They preserve the remains of ancient organisms, shells, bones, and microscopic skeletons. By drilling into these sediments, scientists can extract cores that reveal Earth's climate history over millions of years. The types and abundance of fossils, the chemistry of shells, and the layers themselves tell stories of ice ages, warm periods, mass extinctions, and gradual changes. The seabed is a library of Earth's past, a record written in mud and rock. Each layer is a page, and reading it helps us understand not only what was, but what might be. Barnacles produce one of the strongest natural adhesives known. When a barnacle larva finds a suitable surface, it secretes a glue-like substance made of proteins that forms an incredibly strong, waterproof bond. This cement can withstand years of waves, currents, and even the force of ships moving through the water. Scientists are studying barnacle glue to develop new adhesives for medical, dental, and marine applications. Imagine an adhesive that works underwater and is non-toxic. Once attached, barnacles are nearly impossible to remove. Vessels must be cleaned regularly to prevent barnacle buildup, which increases resistance and fuel consumption. Barnacles teach us that sometimes the best strategy is to find a good spot and hold on to it, literally and permanently, and let the world go by. Coral polyps are tiny animals, usually only a few millimeters in size, that live in colonies and form the structures we call corals. Each polyp has a simple body, a mouth surrounded by tentacles that capture plankton. They secrete calcium carbonate skeletons beneath them and build upon the skeletons of previous generations. Over time, these aggregations form massive structures, coral reefs. Polyps are closely related to jellyfish and anemones. They can reproduce both sexually, by releasing eggs and sperm into the water, and asexually, by budding off new polyps. Corals are colonial organisms, thousands or millions of individual polyps working together, connected by living tissue. Each polyp is small and simple, but together they create ecosystems that support immense biodiversity. Unity creates complexity. The water appears blue, but water itself is clear. The blue color comes from the way water molecules interact with light. Water absorbs slightly more red light than blue light, so when light passes through or is reflected from water, blue tones predominate. This is true for large bodies of water, oceans, deep lakes, and glaciers. A glass of water appears clear because there isn't enough water present to significantly absorb red wavelengths. This selective absorption of light is also the reason why colors disappear underwater as you go deeper. Red is absorbed within a few meters, then orange, then yellow, until only blue-green light remains. Eventually, even that fades to black. The color of the ocean is a lesson in physics and perception. What we see depends on the depth, the volume, and how light travels through the world. Anglerfish are strange deep-sea fish, best known for their bioluminescent lure. Female anglerfish have a modified dorsal fin that extends forward over their mouths and is studded with a luminous organ filled with light-producing bacteria. They dangle this lure to attract prey in the dark. If a curious fish investigates, the anglerfish strikes with its large, toothy mouth. Male anglerfish are much smaller and look completely different. In some species, males bite a female and fuse with her, becoming a permanent parasitic partner, supplying sperm while receiving nutrients from her bloodstream. This extreme sexual dimorphism and bizarre mating strategy evolved in response to the challenges of the deep sea. Anglerfish demonstrate that evolution finds creative, sometimes strange, solutions to problems. Whales were once land animals. Around 50 million years ago, whale ancestors were four-legged mammals that lived near water and gradually adapted to life in the water. Fossil evidence continues to fill in this transition, depicting creatures with legs still functional for walking, but bodies already streamlined for swimming. Over millions of years, front limbs evolved into flippers, hind limbs disappeared completely, and they developed blowholes. Whales still bear traces of this past, tiny hip bones and sometimes rudimentary leg bones, hidden deep within their bodies. They breathe air and must surface regularly. Unlike fish, the evolution of whales is one of the most dramatic transformations in the fossil record. A reminder that life is not fixed, but continuously adapts, that the past shapes the present, and that change, given enough time, can rewrite everything. Sea foam forms when waves churn seawater containing organic material from decaying algae and other sources. Proteins, Fats and other compounds act like soap, trapping air and creating bubbles. Strong winds and rough seas produce more foam. Sometimes beaches are covered with thick layers of foam, especially during storms or algal blooms. Sea foam is usually harmless, although it can contain pollutants or toxins from harmful algae. It drifts like snow across beaches, piles up in dunes, and collapses underfoot. Foam is ephemeral. Here, one moment, gone the next, made of almost nothing but air and water and traces of life. He reminds us that even the waste products of the ocean can be beautiful, that permanence is temporary, and that lightness is made from heaviness. Sea ice and freshwater ice look similar, but are different. Sea ice forms from frozen seawater and contains much less salt than the water from which it originated. Brine is expelled as ice crystals form. The remaining pockets of concentrated brine create channels in the ice where microorganisms live. Freshwater ice, from glaciers or icebergs, forms on land from accumulated snow that has been compressed over thousands of years. When these glaciers reach the sea and break apart, they create icebergs, floating mountains of old ice. Icebergs are dangerous for ships because most of their mass is hidden underwater. Ice is water in a different form, solid, slowly moving, but still part of the ocean's cycles, eventually melting and returning. The deep sea glows with bioluminescence. At certain depths, when submarines switch off their lights, the darkness is punctuated by tiny flashes and glows. Jellyfish pulse with light, shrimp emit luminous clouds, and fish display glowing lures and patterns. It is estimated that more than 90% of deep-sea creatures produce light in some form. This creates an underwater night sky, constellations of living stars drifting in the darkness. The deep sea is not the dead, black void we once imagined. It is a place of light made by life itself, a reminder that even in the absence of the sun, illumination is possible. Life creates its own brightness, its own hope, against the darkness. Oyster reefs were once widespread along many coastlines. Oysters attach themselves to hard surfaces and to each other, forming massive reefs that can stretch for kilometers. These reefs provide habitat for countless other species and improve water quality. A single oyster can filter up to 200 liters of water per day, removing algae, bacteria, and particles. Oyster reefs also protect coastlines from erosion by dampening wave energy. But oyster populations have declined dramatically due to overfishing, disease, and habitat destruction. Many historic reefs have disappeared completely. Restoration efforts are underway in many places, with promising results. Oysters show us that even small filter feeders, working together, can clean water and build structures that last. That loss can be reversed with effort, and that ecosystems can heal if given a chance. The ocean sounds different than air. Underwater, sounds are louder, travel faster, and reach much farther. Whales use low-frequency calls that can carry across entire ocean basins, messages that travel thousands of kilometers. Dolphins use high-frequency clicks for echolocation, sending out sound pulses and listening for echoes to navigate and hunt. Shrimp snap their claws. Fish grunt. Ice cracks. Waves break. All these sounds combine to create an underwater soundscape rich in information. But human-made noise from ships Sonar, seismic surveys, and construction has increased dramatically, creating an ocean that is far louder than it was a century ago. This noise can disrupt communication, navigation, and the behavior of marine animals. The ocean is no longer silent. We have filled it with sound, and this sound has consequences. The ocean's greatest depth is over 10,000 meters. If you were to place Mount Everest in the Mariana Trench, its summit would still be over 2,000 meters underwater. At these depths, the water pressure is over 1,000 times atmospheric pressure. Temperatures hover just above freezing, and no light penetrates. Yet life exists here. Amphipods, snailfish, sea cucumbers, and bacteria have been found in the deepest trenches. These creatures have adapted to conditions that seem incompatible with life. Their bodies are soft, their metabolic rates slow, and they feed on organic material that sinks from above. The deep sea is the largest habitat on Earth, but also the least explored. Secrets remain in the depths, waiting silently. Shells wash up on beaches, the remains of animals that once lived in the ocean. Each shell tells a story, the species that made it, where it lived, how it died. Shells are made from calcium carbonate secreted by mollusks, clams, snails, oysters. The animal builds its shell layer by layer throughout its life, adding growth lines like the annual rings of a tree. The shape, color, and texture of a shell reflect the environment in which it formed and the animal's genes. To hold a shell is to hold the past, a structure that once sheltered a life, now empty, carried by waves, bleached by the sun, smoothed by sand. Shells are gifts of the ocean, scattered along shorelines. Waves never cease. Even on calm days, waves roll across the ocean's surface, legacies of distant storms. Waves are energy in motion, traveling thousands of kilometers from their source. When a wave finally breaks on a beach, the energy that began as wind hundreds or thousands of kilometers away is finally dispersed, transformed into the sound and foam of the surf. Waves shape coastlines, carve cliffs, move sand, create beaches and barrier islands. They are powerful yet patient, repetitive yet never exactly the same. Waves teach patience, rhythm, and the beauty of endless repetition. The ocean surface is not flat. Wind creates ripples. Ripples build up into waves, and waves organize themselves into patterns called swell. But there's more. The ocean's height varies by meters due to currents, temperature differences, and salinity. Satellites can measure these subtle differences and create maps of oceanic topography. The ocean has hills and valleys of water, not stone, constantly shifting. Even the concept of sea level is complicated. It's an average that varies depending on location and time. The ocean's surface is dynamic, a living skin over a restless body. It tells us that what appears simple is actually complex. That stillness is an illusion. The ocean holds secrets we will never know. Countless species have existed, evolved, and gone extinct without leaving fossils or memories. Entire ecosystems have risen and fallen. Events have occurred in the deep sea without witnesses. The ocean is ancient, billions of years old, and vast beyond human scale. We have explored a tiny fraction of it. Most of the ocean floor has never been seen by human eyes. There are places no human will ever go, Depths too great. Pressures too intense. The ocean will keep its secrets. And perhaps it should. Not everything needs to be known. Some things can simply exist, undetectable, in the dark and the deep. The ocean connects us all. Water evaporates from the ocean, forms clouds, falls as rain on land, flows through rivers, and returns to the sea. Nutrients cycle from land to ocean and back. Fish and seabirds migrate between coasts and open water. Currents connect distant shores. What we do on land affects the sea. What happens in the ocean affects us. The health of the ocean is our health. Its rhythms are our rhythms. We are all connected through water, through air, through the great cycles that sustain life. The ocean is not just around us. It is within us. We are, in the deepest sense, ocean beings. The ocean is patient. It has been here for over 4 billion years. It witnessed the emergence of the first life from its waters. It saw continents drift and collide. It absorbed asteroid impacts and ice ages. Through all of this, the ocean has endured, adapted, and persevered. It warms, it acidifies, it changes in response to human activity. Yet it remains, vast and deep, still covering most of our planet. The ocean is in no hurry. It moves in rhythms measured by tides, seasons, and centuries. It teaches us patience, resilience, and the long term. The ocean reminds us that time is deep, that change is constant, and that some things, like water, like life, like the patient turning of the world, outlast everything. And so our silent journey through the secrets of the ocean comes to a gentle end. We have traveled from the sun-drenched surface, where waves dance with light, to the darkest trenches, where pressure crushes yet life persists, discovering along the way that the ocean is both ancient and constantly renewing itself. From microscopic plankton that creates the air we breathe, to the largest animals that have ever existed, gliding through blue silence, we have glimpsed how the ocean is both powerful and delicate, vast and vulnerable. The ocean reminds us that we are all connected through water. Much of what sustains us happens in silence, in the dark depths, in the microscopic blossoms we never see. The ocean teaches patience, resilience, and the beauty of cycles. Without the ocean, without its currents and creatures and silent chemistry, the earth would be a barren rock. By pausing to notice, we catch a glimpse of the extraordinary in the ordinary. And now, in these last few minutes, breathe as deeply as you can, as deeply as possible. Think of unity, of every atom, every wave, every creature in the ocean. You are not separate. You are a link in the endless chain. Think about how water cycles through clouds, rivers, oceans, and rain. Everything is connected. Everything returns. Everything flows. You are part of this river, this cycle, this eternal return. Let your whole being dissolve into the rhythm of nature, into the breath of the earth, into silence. Prepare yourself for deep sleep. No more boundaries, only peace. If these peaceful stories from Earth have helped you breathe more easily, perhaps sharing them could help another weary soul glide peacefully. A silent sharing, one peaceful night after another. But now, you don't have to do anything at all. Absolutely nothing. You have traveled far tonight, deeper than most journeys take you. You can let these thoughts of the ocean fade now, like foam dissolving on a beach, leaving only gentle tranquility behind. Let your breathing deepen. Let your body feel heavier, as if you were gently sinking into warm sand. When sleep comes, let it carry you like a gentle tide, smooth, inevitable, into a realm where time and weight no longer matter. If your eyes are still open, the next video awaits you, ready to continue the journey. But if they're closed, stay there. Stay in the darkness that feels safe and warm. Tomorrow the ocean will still be there. The waves will still rise and fall. But tonight belongs to silence. Rest well, gentle traveler. And remember, the ocean is patient, and so can you be. Dream more deeply with sleep science. Good night.